Oh, this is the third example that I'm going to post. This is again aimed around a location control. As you can see, there is a map now. We are now integrating with the Bing Maps control. Our actual file structure for the project is going to come into something like this right now. We have a couple of different assemblies here, the actual action pack, the Bing Maps component. I'm going to probably give you guys a database in the initial release. It's going to be a simple XML database using isolated storage, but it will get the job done for what a lot of you will probably need to do for low-end client-side databases. Some communication stuff. I'm probably going to do a couple things with to make REST services a little easier to call. That's not going to be in the initial release. The database may or may not be in. I have kind of a pseudo isolated storage database that I wrote a while ago that I may throw in, but as you can see, this is probably going to be the release file structure, the release structure of the project. So anyway, in the Bing Maps assembly, there's going to be a few controls that's going to help you work with the Bing Maps control. This is a pretty simple thing to get going. Basically what this little sample application does, and it will be included with the sample apps in the first release, is this links up this little push pin to everywhere that you move with the map. So as the phone is moving around, it will render a new push pin for every time your location control detects that there has been movement on the phone. Will automatically put a new push pin on the map. You don't have to write any code to get this to work. Well, you do have to put one little snippet of XAML in there, but I'm sure I can find a way to get around that eventually. So this is very, very easy to use. Let's break it down and take a look at what we're actually doing here. We can see over here we have a location control. I've added a new thing in. I couldn't really get the Bing Maps control to do what I wanted without having an action. So I have an action called location change center map action, which you stick on your location control. You tell it to target. You tell it to target the map. So you just hit the little thing and go to the map. You do the event name location changed. That will happen off of the location control. And when that happens, it will essentially tell the map control, hey, this is your new center. And it works quite well. I'm not really happy with that solution, but it will work quite well. So anyway, next up we have the actual Bing map. Once we put that on the screen, you would add a map items control. That is a stock control that comes with Bing Maps. From there, you would take the item source and you would bind that with an element binding property to your location control. And then it will pick location collection. So under the Bing Maps assembly of the action pack, there's a special location collection control. Now, like I said in the second samples, the location controls will all be extensible very easily. This is actually directly extending that. It is very, very simple. And this actually just implements the location collection that the Bing map actually wants to use. So to get this to work, we simply link those things up. We come in with the items template. We say we want to edit an additional template. We would want to edit. We create an empty one, but right now we're doing edit the current. We would add a push pin control that comes stock with the Bing Maps kit. And then here's where we need our one little line of XAML, and it would just be map layer dot position binding path location. For some reason I can't seem to get that to come in, so it's probably in here somehow. But this does work pretty well. I also threw in an emulator for the current location. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So here are the samples that we'll probably ship a few of them. These are the mapping ones. Here's the Bing Maps. And then you can see it immediately centered the map for us. We can zoom in here. And I have a something here that randomly walks across the screen. This is going to be pretty useful for testing, and it's loading here. My internet connection is a little slow right now, but you can see it's going to place a new dot for you in every time that you you move the phone. So this is simulating what the GPS would send. So, and we can even come in here, we can view the aerial view. And that'll resolve and res up in a second. Gotta love deep zoom. You can see we're walking around some person's backyard. Anyway, it's a pretty simple sample. Give me your feedback, guys. All right, have a good one.